Yo, what up? It's your boy Tom. And if you've played the Exceed Festival at all, you may have noticed some interesting things about it. For one, Herald of Ultimateness, Albutch the Golden Lord, and all of the True Draco monsters have been banned, along with Retaliating Sea and several other cards. So the format's definitely more different than we thought it would be. Also, there has been a Garbage Lord Turbo self-TK deck running around, and plenty of people have been playing it. But I'm not complaining, it helps you to grind gems. But, for those duelists out there who are still trying to duel, they've been playing some pretty tough stuff. Now, of course, it is a lot lower power level than the TCG. The only thing that really isn't affected is pure Zoodiac, but who really plays pure Zoodiac without, like, a Tri-Brigade engine? So, the biggest contender has probably been Yep Double. I've played a lot of games against that, and boy is it annoying. When I first started the day, I was playing Shiranui without Synchro Monsters just because Swallow Slash is a good card. Then I shifted to Pendulum Magician without any extra deck payoff, just playing Pendulum Graph Control, and that seemed to do better for a while. But I still needed some bigger boss monsters in the main deck, so that's just when I eventually pivoted towards Endymion. So, this is Endymion with Mythical Beasts. We've got 2 copies of Jackal, 1 copy of Souls, so there's no Link monsters, you can't go into Selene plays, and also this is not Endymion Draw. So Souls comes up quite a bit less. There's still some cool things you can do with it, but it's not a core combo piece here. We've got 2 copies of Magister. Normally this is a one of, but we are playing more Pendulum monsters than we ordinarily would. And then also playing the second copy allows you to grab another one off of Astrograph, which is nice. We've got 2 copies of Servant. Obviously it's the best card in the deck. 2 copies of Abductor. It's alright. We're just gonna skip that for now. We've got 1 Garuda here. It's another form of interruption. Doesn't come up as often, but having just 1 more Mythical Beast name is nice. That is of a different name because their effects are once per turn. And then we've got 1 copy of the Little King here. And this actually is very useful. There's a lot of lines you can go through with it, and getting that draw is really nice, especially when you're playing more Pendulum monsters and less spell cards here. So because we're a bit deeper in on the Mythical Beast names, this actually is very useful. We've got 2 copies of Jackal King, of course, 1 copy of Astrograph Sorcerer if the card's insane. We've got 2 each of Mighty Master and Master Cerberus. You'd probably want to play these at 3, but I only had 2 copies in my collection of each, and I didn't feel like wasting the gems. And then 1 copy of Reflection because, you know, it's a one of. 1 Raigeki, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Terraforming. 3 Into the Void. Don't have Chicken Game or Upstart, so that's what I went with. 3 Spell Power Mastery, 1 copy of the Field Spell, 3 copies of Mythical Institution. So this is what allows you to hold spell counters while going through your Mythical Beast lines. You've got 3 copies of it. You've got 1 copy of the Field Spell, which also retains spell counters while you're going through your Mythical Beast lines and aren't able to get, say, an Endymion monster in your other zone. And then also the Field Spell is searchable, 1 by Terraforming, and also by the 3 copies of Mastery. And then 2 Wavering Eyes, this is mainly just for Astrograph, and 1 copy of Bestiary. I didn't really expect this to do all that well, but I just threw it in, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It's actually pretty good. And then you notice we are playing a lot of Exceed monsters. We don't use these all that often, but when we do, the Mythical Beast / Endymion engine isn't that great at pumping out synchro monsters, and I noticed myself bricking whenever I would try to put an actual, like, full magician engine in here. So I just went with one copy of Celestial Magician, one copy of Curtain Raiser, and one copy of Darkworm. So, of course, these are searchable because of all of the different cards that you're playing that just can search any Pendulum monster. The Darkworm is nice because it recurs itself if you're getting board wiped. The Celestial Magician is a searcher, and then this is a free special from, your zone if you don't have any monsters. So those together are pretty important, and also they're all dark, and that comes up because of really the only extra deck monster that we commonly go into here. It's Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. This card's nuts. Before damage calculation, you can absorb the attack of whatever it's attacking. It doesn't target, and that actually comes up a lot. And, if it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, if it can't be targeted, basically any sort of protection that isn't specifically unaffected by card effects, this helps you get over it. And it's very good, but it requires 2 level 4 dark pendulums. And these Mythical Beasts are light. Abductor is an earth. I believe Medusa might be a dark, possibly, but Medusa was kind of making me brick, so I cut that. And then the rest of the extra deck here is just a Lionheart. Didn't make this, but theoretically it could come up against Double. Then we got Gramples, Gossip Shadow here. Haven't made these. Heartland Draco, it attacks directly. Magister, it's one of your searchers. Malevolent Sin, it is removal, but it's like Duel Links removal, so only made this once, and it was against Time Lords. Dark Rebellion, the Goat. Baguska, Plan B. Dugaris, it's Dugaris. This theoretically could come up in a grind game. It adds a spellcaster monster from graveyard to hand. Haven't made it yet, but it's in there. Strike Bouncer, it's alright. You do have to go into it with level 6s though. This was coming up more when I was still playing Oath Dragon. But you've got space. Absolute Dragon, of course this can't go into Vortex, but it's still pretty good. Especially against Double. And then you've got Titanic Moth, I believe it attacks directly and burns. This pops a card, and then I have no idea what Magician of Hope does. But it's in there. So that's the list. Let's just go ahead and jump into a replay here. So these are all my matches from today. We've lost a few of them, and one probably more than we should have, because quite a number of these individuals, such as this guy, Quick Kill Me, were playing, Garbage Lord Turbo Self TK. Yeah, this nonsense. So maybe they're gonna fix that in the coming week, who knows. But anyway, let's just go ahead and check out a replay here. This is against Drytron, and I almost had a panic attack when I saw the alpha hit the board. Then I realized that Herald of Ultimateness is banned. So there's Alpha pitching Gamma, then going into Ava for the Mu Beta Fafnir. Of course, when they summon that, they will use its effect, and they will send the Zeta to graveyard. So now they've got 3 out of their 4 names here. The Zeta is going to get the Ben 10 out of the hand, summon itself, then they will go into Idaten. They have Medionis Drytron in their hand. They don't detach materials here, which I think is kind of weird. They just use the Mu Beta Fafnir. I'm not sure if that's correct. I don't know Drytron lines that well. But they will get the Herald Diviner here. And then they get Medionis Drytron back to hand by having the attack of the Zeta. Now they will activate Gamma's effect, getting the Gamma and the Alpha on board. Then they go into the second copy of their Exceed monster, Mu Beta Fafnir. After which they'll go for Drytron again, this time summoning the Idaten out of the graveyard. Now, it's not ultimateness, and in fact, it doesn't have any sort of interaction or negate on it. And neither does Mu Beta Fafnir, because Mu Beta Fafnir requires you to be controlling a machine ritual, and this is a fairy. I did not realize that at first, as I go through my entire Mythical Beast line trying to bait the negate before I go for my Endymion plays here. But we get the Master Cerberus on board because they have no interrupt with the Mu Beta Fafnir. So we go Cerberus into Basilisk, Jackal for the Cerberus, and then Basilisk to shuffle the Jackal, draw a card. After which we go for Magister. We'll put some spell counters on it with Mastery, which searches Servant. We'll scale the Servant. We can't Pendulum summon here because we don't have Link monsters and our zone is clogged, but that does give us plenty of spell counters to banish their Xyz monster with Master Cerberus, gaining 2000 attack, normal summon the Jackal, tribute itself for a Jackal King. This is a ton of damage, plus a monster negate, and we have Wavering Eyes in case they try to clear our back row. We will still get some value off of it, probably go into an Astrograph. They're going to draw here. They've got 4 cards in hand. They go for Diviner. We're going to, of course, try to negate that with Jackal King here. We've got plenty of spell counters to do so, but they have the Droplet pitching Ava, meaning that they will get a double search as well. So this is pretty scary in ordinary circumstances, but it looks like they don't have much left that they can actually do here, as the Ava's going to add a Herald of Orange Light and another copy of Diviner of the Heralds to hand. But they've got nothing else apparently, and this is lethal. Yep. So we're going to activate the field spell just to get some spell counters on board for fun, and the opponent's going to surrender before we go to battle phase. So yeah, that's been the Exceed Festival here. It's been interesting. Well, if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe for future content, and comment what deck you plan to bring to the Exceed Festival for the rest of this week. Thank you.